So the topic of this session is the low ticket strategy for unpredictable health, also known as recurring low ticket. And in it, I'm talking about how recurring low ticket sales have helped me to maintain a consistent monthly revenue over the past 2.5 years, even while struggling with very unpredictable health issues where I've had to take quite a lot of time off unplanned. But more than that, I've had very long stretches of time where I just haven't been able to function optimally in the business in the way that I did before. And importantly, I've done this without the pressure to constantly reach large numbers of new people or be creating new content or new offers all the time. And those things feel particularly important to emphasize. The security of baseline recurring monthly revenue from low ticket offers, the not needing to do consistent high volume marketing, and the not needing to create new offers all the time, particularly if, like me, those are the things that you'd find the most difficult to maintain if you were not well enough to run your business in the way you do now. And so you know what I'm going to cover. The things I'm going to talk about here are, what do I mean by recurring low ticket revenue? Why this has had such a big impact for me personally, what my recurring low ticket offer actually is. I'm going to compare recurring low ticket with non-recurring low ticket offers. I'm going to talk about considering your strengths and also what you find most difficult when planning out your offers. I'm going to talk about what your recurring low ticket offer could be. And also to have you thinking about, where does the recurring low ticket offer fit in your overall business model? And of course, I'm going to talk about why you don't have to, if you don't want to, create lots of content or be a high volume marketer for this to work. So what do I mean by recurring low ticket? By recurring low ticket, I mean that the same people purchase at a low ticket price every month on subscription. The on subscription is the important bit. The money comes in automatically. And this way, I have a large volume of low ticket sales that I can rely on month. Now, it doesn't mean that it doesn't drop off. My cancellation rate in my membership averages about 5% per month, so I can generally predict that my revenue will drop by about 5% per month. So I can predict what's going to come in, even if I don't do anything at all to bring on new people. And the reason I'm talking about this topic is because it has been an absolute lifesaver, even a business saver for me in the past couple of years. But I didn't anticipate that at all when I set up this model. And to give you some context, I've always run my business alongside health issues. When I first started my business 12 years ago, I was very unwell with what in the UK we call ME, or chronic fatigue syndrome. And that was a permanent long-term health condition. And I'd sort of learned how to manage myself and my symptoms to still be able to run a business. And despite the health condition, I grew my business to a low multi-six-figure revenue with a small part-time team to support me. However, just over the last 2.5 years, I've had new, different, recurring and mostly unrelated health issues that have just seemed to have hit me one thing after another. And it's meant I've had to take chunks of time off work without forward planning. I've also had long periods where I just haven't been able to show up to my business in the way I would want to. So like, I've physically shown up, but I haven't been able to do more than just do the necessary things to deliver to the clients and hold things together. So for me, when I'm at my very worst, the minimum that I'm able to do is to deliver to my existing paying clients and do the essential things to keep the business running. And what tends to happen for me is that when I'm not well, I don't have it in me to do a lot of marketing or to create a lot of new content. And despite that, my business has continued to support me financially. And I think that's such an important point to make. You know, in the last couple of years, there have been 0 months where I've panicked because I didn't know if enough money was going to come in. Not even when I was off work fully for a whole month when I had COVID. And so this recurring revenue has really saved me. And I want to encourage other people to think about what would happen to your business if the unexpected happened and you had to take a lot of time off sick. You know, we put so much effort into growing our businesses, but a really important question to ask is, while you are busy supporting your business, would your business be able to support you in return if you needed it to? So that's partly a thread of what I'm looking at today. So what is recurring low ticket? Well, my recurring low ticket is a membership, which is priced at £47 a month. That's about 59 US dollars. It's called Business from the Heart, and it's for small business owners who want a great business, but don't want to fall out of love with it or burn out on it along the way. Now, at the highest point before these health challenges kicked in, I had about 480 members. And at the time of recording this, there are just under 300. So the numbers and the revenue have definitely dropped. You know, I'm not here to say that I've got some magical business that keeps making me money even when I'm not here, and that my health challenges have not impacted my business at all. But I am still standing. The business is still here, and I'm not sure if I would be if I didn't have this recurring revenue stream. I also haven't had to let go any of my team members who support me. I've got a small team of part-time people. Now, it could also have been recurring high ticket revenue. It's not the low ticket necessarily, but the thing is, it's easier for people to keep paying the low ticket amount on repeat. Even if some of my members can't use it for a few months because of their own life events, they don't tend to cancel. So the income stays more stable than if it was recurring high ticket. Now, looking at recurring low ticket compared to non-recurring low ticket. So compare this to having, say, just one or two offers that you sell on a low ticket price point. You'd need to be reaching large enough numbers of new people every single month to make the same volume of sales. I only had to reach my number of people once to get the repeated sales from them. And if I don't reach any new people in a particular month, that revenue keeps on coming in. Or compare it to where you have multiple offers, so lots of different low ticket products that you sell over and over to the same audience. The question there is your audience big enough that if they keep buying from you, you've got a profitable business? But also, if your business relies on you creating new offers, what if you get sick and don't have the energy to keep creating those new products for that same audience? So in many ways, really, what I'm talking about here are knowing your strengths in business. So what are your strengths in business? I know that in my business, I'm brilliant at sales. You'd expect that. I'm a sales expert. I'm also brilliant at launching my course and my membership when I do launch it. And I think, best of all, I'm a really good teacher and mentor. And this is one of the things that helps my retention stay so high. And by retention, I mean not many people leave. It's because they're getting such good value in return for what they're paying me. So those are my business superpowers. And then I've got my weaknesses. And so even though I've been in business for 12 years, and in that time I've done nearly 2 million in sales, in all that time I have never nailed a high volume, hands-off approach to marketing that just happens on autopilot, like you can get with paid advertising. The marketing that's always worked best for me and that I've always really enjoyed has been more personal. It involves me showing up in person to do talks or podcast interviews or present masterclasses, as well as creating and sharing free content. And what I've found is that when I'm struggling with my health, the marketing is the first thing to go. I'm very committed to service. It's one of my highest values. So looking after my current paying clients is my first priority, and I always manage to show up for them. But I think that if I was relying on the launch of, say, my course instead of my membership, I would have struggled through not bringing on enough new people for the launches. And in fact, in my last course launch, it was much smaller than usual because of that. So the recurring revenue, this recurring low ticket, it's really, really saved the day for me. So I want you to consider what's easiest for you in your business, but I think most importantly, what's hardest, because the stuff that's the hardest for you to do right now is the stuff that you'll find the hardest to do if you get sick. And I really want to encourage you to consider designing a business that if it needed to, could rely less on the stuff that you are either not as good at or you find very difficult. Now, there are lots of ways to do that. A low ticket recurring model is just one of them. There are so many other business models you can choose from, and I teach about this a lot in my membership. Actually, I help people design a business model that plays to their strengths and that they can actually enjoy running over the longer term. So what could your recurring low ticket offer be? Now, when I talk about recurring low ticket, I've said that mine is a membership, but I would love to encourage you to not automatically think membership, because as soon as you think membership, your mind is going to go to that membership that you're a part of, and you're going to think that you have to create something like that. And that can really limit what's possible for you. So I find that a lot of people equate memberships with things like needing to run live sessions on Zoom or create new content every month. So instead of thinking membership, just ask yourself, for a price point of below $100, pounds, euros, whatever, what could you sell that people would see the value in paying for on repeat month after month? Now, this might be providing a monthly template for something, or a high value report of some sort, or it could be a chance to ask you questions asynchronously instead of on Zoom. It might be some sort of pure accountability system. It might be a monthly session with a guest expert. It might be some sort of a community event. There are so many different things that people would pay for on subscription that don't necessarily require you to create new trainings or deliver live Zoom calls every month. I also want to emphasize here that you don't have to be creative in order to have a recurring low ticket offer. I'm not someone who has a million ideas for a new course every day. I'm also autistic, so when I do have a new idea for something, I have a tendency towards perfectionism and an over focus on the detail. And this means that even though when I create content it's usually pretty good, I find the process overly stressful and time consuming, so I don't typically enjoy it. So low ticket without needing to create lots of new content is what works best for me. But if creating lots of content is your thing, then a business based around creating multiple offers might be just absolutely perfect for you. So in my membership, I do Zoom mentoring calls, and I do them because I love them and I'm brilliant at them and they're easy for me. Even when I'm not all that well, I can still turn up and do a really good job. I don't know how, some miracle, but it's true. But I don't create new content every month. And instead, the monthly training comes from guest experts that I bring in. And every once in a while, I do create the training if it's a specific area of expertise for me. I also like to do Q&As on specialist topics, so I can deliver a lot of value without needing to create a structured training in advance. So where does recurring low ticket fit in your business model? Is it going to be a standalone revenue stream, so it's the main income into your business? Is it part of your product journey, so ongoing support for people after they complete your course? Or is it what I call a paid nurture funnel? And this is where people are actually paying you while you nurture them for your higher priced offers. So if it's a standalone revenue stream, you will need a lot more people in there paying you every month to hit the same income goal. If it's a paid nurture funnel, then you need a lot less people because the money will come from sales of those higher priced offer. And in my own case, my business model before this more difficult 2-year period was I had a course launch once a year, a membership launch twice a year, and I also ran a high ticket mastermind. And for the last 18 months, I've relied almost solely on the income from the membership plus some affiliate income, and I've done one launch of my course in the last 2 years. So the recurring low ticket has been an absolute lifesaver for keeping a consistent revenue with unpredictable health without the need to create new content or reach new people all of the time. Now, let's get real for a minute, because I think this is really important as well. For any business model to work, you do need to be reaching new people regularly. Note I don't say consistently, but that's a whole other topic. If you don't reach new people regularly, then eventually your business will sputter to a halt. So has my revenue dropped off because of this period of ill health? Yes, of course it has. You know, I've had to pass up on great opportunities. I have cancelled a few launches. I've let relationships that have been valuable to my business fall by the wayside. And most of all, I simply haven't done anything close to the sort of regular marketing that I used to do. But no matter how bad I was or how much I wasn't able to do, apart from just the 1 month when I had COVID, I was always able to show up 2 to 3 times a month for my members and in their Facebook group, which means that every single month, 95% of my members got enough value that they decided to stay and pay for another month. And that was so valuable. My members also recommend their friends. And so the friends join, and now they are paying me monthly as well. So final words, you know, many of you are doing what I did for many, many years. I was the support system that kept my business alive. I was here every day, actively marketing, creating content, launching, delivering, looking after the back end operations. But what would happen if you had to take a lot of time off sick or to look after a loved one who's sick? Will your business now be able to support you in return? Now, I know that I'm going to be able to look back with enormous gratitude for the business that kept me afloat for these few years when I couldn't keep it afloat. So I hope you have found this thought-provoking and that I've inspired you to think about designing a business that doesn't have to have as much of you for it to work. And if you would love to learn anything more from me about anything I've talked about today, you can find out more on my website, which is at sellingfromtheheart.com. There are several resources on there. One of them is a free training on how to have authentic sales conversations. As I said, that's the thing that I'm most known for. There's also a guide there on how to create a business that you can fall in love with and stay in love with. So even before these personal challenges, a key focus of my membership has always been on growing a business that you can love, both right now while you're in the messy middle and you're figuring it all out, and for many years to come, because it's genuinely sustainable and it's built around things that you love to do, rather than pushing and eventually burning out or just falling out of love with it. And for me, one of the keys to creating a business you love is designing that business model that really works for you. Because if you can enjoy all of the parts of your business, that's how you create a business that you want to run for many, many years. So if you'd like to learn more about those key principles, you can get the Create a Business You Can Fall in Love With guide. And that's at sellingfromtheheart.com/love business. Now, given the topic of this session today, I've also decided that when you sign up through that specific link, I'm setting it up so that you will also get access to a session that I did for my membership on running a business with a chronic health condition, because I know that some of you may be particularly interested in that. So that's only if you sign up on the specific link, sellingfromtheheart.com/love business way. So it's been an absolute pleasure to share this with you today. I really hope I've inspired you to think differently about how you can design a business that really supports you or could support you if it came to you needing that. So as I said, it's been an absolute pleasure, and sending you lots of love for your business success and your business journey. Bye-bye.